All right, everybody, welcome back. Good evening. We have one more edge rusher video to hit for the day, and then we're done with our edge rushers. I might look at a couple more later on in the process, like in the last few days before the draft, in case there's any players I missed out on. Usually there are a handful of guys that I just completely whiff on, and I come back and try to get them on a second loop, but this will be the last dedicated edge rusher video. So, we're going to start with Jah Joyner. We got some ground to cover here. Minnesota Golden Gopher. Pretty good size, 262. Got some decent height as well. 34-inch arms, nice and long, but his testing was not what you're hoping for, really. 167, 10-yard split is not really going to blow anybody away, even though his overall 40 time was actually really good. So he's got build-up speed, but very low vertical. Change of direction was disappointing, so testing was kind of a letdown for him. Big boards, we got a third, we got a fourth, we got some fifths. Aggregate has him in like the late fifth. Production over the last couple years has been actually pretty good. He sacrificed some of his pass rushing production last year for having more tackles, so that's kind of interesting. But we are talking about a guy that has 75 pressures over the last 2 years and 12 sacks and 14 tackles for loss. The thing that really stands out about him are his long arms. He's got very long arms for somebody who's available this late in the draft. He's got good closing speed. His ability to make those last couple of steps to make the play and then make the play is good. He does have some nice counters he pulls out to win in the trenches. And he can also hit with some punches. He's got some things that he can do just quickly, just almost stun an offensive lineman with a punch and get through. Now, some of the issues with him, he does get pancaked too easily. His contact balance isn't very good. I think he needs to, widen out his base a little bit. He does need to add some more strength. And fortunately, he has the frame to add a little bit of weight. His first step is underwhelming when he tries to get the edge. Doesn't really have much bend either, so he's not going to win as a speed guy. And he doesn't have a big stack and shed game overall. Once he actually gets engaged with a lineman, his ability to stack and shed him is very limited. So the length and straight line speed gets your attention immediately, but the speed is going to be less impactful for a guy like him because he is playing in the trenches. He's an edge rusher. So his 40 time is not going to be as valuable as a better 10-yard split would be. And I just don't think there's enough here, really. I don't think there's enough here to get into. So I'm going to say 6th round pick. I think you could develop something here around his long arm. So I'm going to say a little bit better than some of these other guys, but I'm going to go 6th round pick on him for now. Can't go too much higher. Fadil Diggs of Syracuse, the Syracuse Orange. Another taller, slightly leaner guy who's still reasonably sized. Should be more than big enough to be at least a 3-4 edge. Arm length is okay, so he's got some positive traits. Combine was very fast and pretty quick. 1.6 10-yard split. That's kind of that's the number you're looking for there. The vertical was really bad for some reason, but his broad was good. So you don't see that every day. Usually a player will have a roughly equivalent vertical and broad jump. Big boards. Walter Football's in love with him. They have him in the 2nd. Otherwise, though, it's like 6th and 7th round mostly. Aggregate, we're in the 6th. I see a good amount of production these last few years, right? 25 tackles. You're talking about 80 tackles overall, 25 for loss, 11 and a half sacks, good production, 42 pressures last year on quarterbacks. So he's got a lot of appealing traits right off the bat. And you're like, wow, this guy might be available in the 6th round. He's got size, he's got length, he's got speed, he's got quickness. He understands leverage as well. He knows how to get underneath the pads of blockers and win by that. He's got some nice moves and some counters he can utilize right out of the box as well. So Fadil Diggs brings a lot of surprisingly good things to the table here. He is weak against the run. I feel like he's a little tentative. He has quickness. He has the ability to win in the trenches. He just seems a little bit... It's almost like a lack of confidence. He seems not as aggressive as you would like. Hopefully that's something that can be taught. And his pass rush moves, while they're good, are a little segmented and predictable, and that'll obviously be a much bigger deal in the NFL. So there's definitely something interesting here. I think there's way more NFL caliber tools than there should be in a player that's projected to go in like the 6th round. So it may never come together, but I'll go fourth rounder on this one. I think Diggs is a pretty valuable piece that teams are kind of letting slip through for, I'm not totally sure why. Antwaun Powell-Ryland of Virginia Tech, 23. Another one of these shorter guys who's got a decent amount of weight to him. He's going to be able to pack a big punch because he's so compact. But that includes his arms. His arms are tiny. 31 and a quarter. Combine was pretty good, actually. He's got good speed and he's got good explosiveness. Not necessarily quickness. You'd like to see a better 10-yard split. Sorry. Printer has a mind of its own. But overall, the testing numbers were good. Big boards, we got a little bit of fourth and fifth round action, but the aggregate pulls him down to the sixth. Some of the smaller big boards pull him down a little bit. They're not big fans. And, I mean, hey, the production is there. We're talking about 83 tackles, 34 tackles for loss over the last 2 years, 25 and a half sacks, 6 forced fumbles. So, making a lot of hay as a turnover guy. 96 pressures. That's going to be one of the highest counts we see in this whole series this year. And PFF grades have been really good both years. So, the thing that really stands out about Ryland is he's got an elaborate NFL-ready package of rush tricks to deploy. He's actually got legitimate moves that he can stack on top of each other and really be creative with his rush. And a lot of guys coming out of college don't have that. This guy has it. So you are getting somebody who will be pretty ready to go early on. He knows how to use his short height to his advantage to get leverage. He hits hard and he's a clean tackler as well. So he's going to secure most play opportunities he has. And his production is right up there, man. You're not going to find very many other players in college football that had 25 and a half sacks combined over the last 2 years. Doesn't have first step quickness, though. His tiny arms are going to be a big problem. 31 and a quarter is tough to get around. Doesn't really have bend either, so he's not going to win as a speed guy. He wins on skill and he wins on leverage, and that's kind of it. And he's really not strong either. He can get pushed around by most linemen. Most linemen are going to get into his chest because his arms are so short, and they're going to just be able to kind of guide him around the way they want to because they're stronger than him. So I think he's worthy of being drafted. I just think this is going to be a good example of a guy who doesn't have what it takes to hack it in the NFL. He's not big enough. He's not a good enough athlete. He doesn't bring enough to the table. He's not long enough. It's too bad, too, because there is some fun stuff here that I really like. But at the same time, the fact that he's already so skilled tells you he doesn't have a lot of room to grow. So I can't go until like the 7th round, honestly. And that disappoints me to say, but I think it's true. Okay, next guy is Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins of Georgia. This is a guy who really did very little in college, but decided to declare anyway because, I mean, that's what you do. If he had gone back to Georgia for one more year, he could have had a monster season, but he's decided to try to get drafted. He's got good size. He's actually got borderline defensive lineman size. He may end up putting on weight and becoming a 3-tech, or maybe he'll be a 5-tech. He's another one of these guys that can go a few different directions. He's got decent arm length, 33 and a half. Testing numbers were fine if he is playing on the interior, and his explosion is actually remarkable. His explosiveness is actually edge tier, but it really depends on what direction he takes his career. Big boards, you can see ESPN likes him the most. They have him in the 4th. Otherwise, he looks like about a 6th round prospect overall. And you can see how little he did in 2024. He was very much a rotational piece for Georgia. 3 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 19 pressures. Not bad, but he could have come back to Georgia and probably done really good stuff and been a much higher draft pick in 2026. I like his quickness out of his stance for his size, rather. I know it's not good for an edge, but it's good for a 276-pound guy that, by the way, is probably going to add a little bit of weight. He's got great explosiveness, really good at just being able to burst through. He's got some bend as well, which is not common for a bigger guy necessarily. And he should be able to get better because he's got good length. He's got 33.5-inch arms. That should work. And he holds firm on the outside when holding against the run. He's able to really hold his gap and keep his part of the ball protected. So the lack of experience comes in with his play recognition. He's not very good at recognizing plays, I feel like. That's something that could get better, but right now I feel like that's something that's missing with him. Stack and shed will need to improve as well. He does have the arms for it, but he's got to do it. He doesn't use his hands as skillfully as you would like, and the minimal college production is just you're not building on much here. You don't have a lot to put up on the TV when you're doing film study. So really, really good collection of traits. I think a lot of his issues are fixable. Seems to me that he just didn't have a chance to play much at Georgia because you're behind guys like Michael Williams and Jalen Walker, and it's hard to get on the field. So I would even not mind him in the 4th round. That sounds a little bit crazy, I know, but I really like Ingram-Dawkins, and I feel like that you give him a chance to spread his wings, he's going to fly. Final guy, final edge rusher of this video and this series for the time being will be Collin Oliver of Oklahoma State, 22 years old. Very short and very small. In fact, you're probably already figuring out where this goes here. He's got incredibly short arms. He's got 240 pounds on his body. He's very short. Like, you guys already know where this is going, right? This guy may end up moving inside. This guy may end up being an off-ball linebacker. Very good speed and acceleration, though. His quickness is remarkable. Now, that's kind of a small comfort when you're taking a look at a guy who's this small, but he's got big-time explosion as well, so he's a great athlete. He's just, he's small. Big boards, CBS was the only major one that had him getting drafted. The aggregate has him in the 6th. His production the last couple years for Okie State has been good. I mean, 24 tackles for loss, 100 tackles total, 11 sacks, 4 forced fumbles last year, 80 total pressures. So he puts up the numbers, man. He puts up the stats. He produces big time. So Collin Oliver is, I mean, this one's going to take a while to pull apart here, I think. Moves well in open space. He is good at, his movement skills are on point. He can keep up with elusive ball carriers. He can change direction quickly. Pass rush bend is present, so he does have the ability to get low underneath a tackle or a blocker in general. Not afraid to get physical. Not afraid to be aggressive and just take on contact. Might be able to play off ball as well. But that's kind of the thing, right? This guy probably isn't an edge rusher at all. He's probably just an inside linebacker, which you're going to have to work to develop that a little bit. You're going to have to really try to bring those skills along. You're probably just going to have to convert him. He's not good at actually getting off blockers. He doesn't have any stack and shed game. He's got these tiny arms that are not going to be good for stacking and shedding. So he might be able to do 2 different things. I'm pretty darn sure he can't do edge rusher stuff, and who knows if he can do off-ball linebacker stuff. So even though he's a great athlete, and I really want to be into this one, I just don't feel like the odds are in his favor, and he's going to take so much development. It's like, I'm going UDFA. I don't think I can spend a pick on him. It's just not enough. Tough one, though. I thought about it. And look, if we take him in the 7th round, of course I'm not going to mind. But this is a full-on developmental project. You are turning this guy into something he's never been before, and you're still going to deal with the fact that he's got T-Rex arms, no matter what. So he's already a little behind the 8 ball there. All right, I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what you guys think. I know that we've definitely scraped the bottom of the barrel here, but I love edge rushers. One of my favorite positions in football. All right, moving on to new positions starting tomorrow. Stream with the Hawks Nest tomorrow as well. Hope to see you guys there. Go Hawks. Everyone have a good day.